made a video on this situation about Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI, a well-known animator in the animation meme community.
Foxi is a content creator.
Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI. Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI.
Foxi BOXI was supposedly 15 and this person was turning 14, so therefore there's like no fucking age difference. Calm the fuck down. She's not a groomer. Here's the video.
I said that more information would inevitably be released, and there has been. Ooh, shocker. This is essentially a story of a community that blindly believed. A community that impulsively and presumptuously assumed that the victim in question was guilty. This is what happens when you jump to conclusions too fast, blindly believe, and get caught up in wanting to talk about a situation to garner views and attraction, or if you allow yourself to react on fresh, pure outrage. You can fucking ruin people's lives with allegations like these. So, from the bottom of my heart, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! The people who mindlessly spread these false allegations should be ashamed of themselves, and you don't get to jump onto the Foxi BOXI's innocent bandwagon without at least apologizing for the misinformation you spread. Stop mindlessly switching sides because one popular YouTuber spread a new opinion. I'd be more lighthearted if this wasn't such a serious situation, but you should all be ashamed of yourselves. You could have ruined someone's life. May I introduce you to the former YouTuber and artist Foxi BOXI, an incredibly emotionally disturbed individual from what we've been told by her herself. Foxi BOXI has talked about a very dark history of a lot of sexual abuse and grooming, and they've been taken advantage of in many ways. I feel as if educating people on mental health is a very crucial thing that should be taught even in school systems, due to the fact that the more we can understand why certain people become the way they are and do the things they do, especially behavioral problems in children, the better for everyone. We can avoid situations like how the community reacted to the criticism that Foxi BOXI was given. Sexual abuse like this, even physical abuse and any kind of abuse, can create an incredibly jagged worldview when hell is normalized for you. If that's the environment you grow up in, your brain develops in that environment. Of course, there's a threshold. There is a line that can be crossed, and going out of your way to sexually abuse somebody yourself is that line. You can't go and repeat the mistakes your abusers have made. However, if a child is hypersexual and makes the people around them uncomfortable, that may not necessarily be excused, but it can be explained by said abuse. And that's what our community full of children fail to realize. When I say Foxi BOXI is innocent, I do not say that she is some sole victim and that she's never done a thing wrong in her life. What I'm saying is that she's not a fucking pedophile, she's not a predator, she's not a groomer, she's not a zoophile, she's an emotionally disturbed individual. She's a traumatized individual, and she's taking the right steps to better herself and to fix that and to break the cycle of abuse. And I was way too harsh on her in my past video, and nobody's criticized me for that. I'm criticizing myself for that. I take full responsibility for something I don't agree with, that I did in my first video about Foxi. I think I was way too harsh on Foxi, and to that, Foxi, if you're watching this, which I doubt, but still, I am sorry. Foxi BOXI faced a lot of mental health problems and hypersexuality as a result of abuse and trauma. This resulted in hypersexual behavior around her fanbase at the time. And yes, her fanbase was underage, but may I remind you that she was underage as well. And when you use words like, she was sexual with minors, it makes it come across as if she's some 25-year-old fucking creep. She was a kid and she was irresponsible with other kids. Legally, it might be gray area, but morally, it is not that reprehensible. It's natural. It still sucks ass. She probably shouldn't have done the things she did, but she's not a fucking pedophile, and nor is she a groomer. Her actions were a result of abuse and normalization of horrible things. And this resulted in people calling her out, which wouldn't be as much of a problem if the one person who happened to call her out had a bias against her. This said individual already has a documented history of just being a cruel liar, and they ended up twisting the age gap so hard that I almost feel like they've gaslighted Foxy BOXI into thinking that she hit on some 13-year-old at 16.
I was 16, they were 13. I'm aware that I was the older one, but I was not told right from wrong in that aspect. Obviously, I know now.
When it was proven that this individual was actually turning 14 and Foxy was 15. So what? Was it a fucking 15-month age gap? God damn But the community acted on impulse and immediately jumped to cancel Foxy and call her a predator, a pedophile, a zoophile even, because she purchased like a furry dildo. It was retarded as shit, but whatever. Lots of creators who want to do the right thing debunked this, but the fact that the community was ever in a state of mind where someone was called a predator and a pedophile and a zoophile falsely to begin with is very disappointing to me. And you don't get to comment, wow, I'm disappointed in the community, when you were also spreading the misinformation while ignoring the fact that you spread said misinformation. Okay? If you say, oh, I spread misinformation and I feel bad about it, but I'm disappointed in the community, then that's fine. But if you're gonna downright fucking say, I'm disappointed in the community, what the fuck, while you also spread misinformation, then it just feels like you're following that hive mind that social media is. This was a brief description. If you want to know everything in detail, watch my previous video. I apologize for the mediocre quality. I wanted to get the word out as soon as possible. Just bear with 5 months younger Soph. Recently, Foxy BOXI's cousin has come forward on Instagram accusing Foxy BOXI of fucking raping them as a child. And look, guys, as much as I want to be able to stick to that whole believe the victim mentality, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I've told a few people in DMs this story while discussing this situation, and I left this story once in a comment section. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I have certain experience in life that I feel I have gained wisdom from, and I feel it's my responsibility as somebody with trauma from this event to share this wisdom, because I don't want pain inflicted upon anybody. Man, wisdom sounds like fucking egocentric. I just mean like knowledge that I've gained, man. But bear with me, this is a sensitive topic for me. I'm sure that the people who have been watching my content for a while, who watched my previous Foxy BOXI video, remember my little rant about how much I fucking hate sex offenders. Any sane person does not like sex offenders, but my aggression came from a personal experience with my, at the time, boyfriend, who had told me that he had been raped. And his supposed brother raping him made him so unstable that it was incredibly hard to be in a relationship with him, but I stuck by him despite that. And later on, he got more manipulative and abusive, and almost started lying about things. And when I finally caught him in a lie, it was stupid. It was like him trying to prove how much he needs to be in my life because he's protecting me from these creeps in real life relationship, right? So these creeps who were trying to like burn the fucking village I live in down. It was nonsense. And I caught him in a lie. And this lie essentially resulted in a chain reaction of him panicking and coming out about everything he had lied to me about. Our entire relationship was a fucking lie, and he told me that it had something to do with being sympathetic, being addicted to sympathy, being addicted to our sympathy. And now looking back at me believing him for being supposedly raped, I feel like an idiot. I know that anybody would believe their significant other in that situation, so I'll try not to be too hard on myself, but in my private time, I tend to be extremely guilt-trippy towards myself for believing him, and that is why I would never recommend that you blindly hate someone and attack someone because somebody told you that they're a rapist when it's simply allegations. I was friends with my ex's brother, and I ended up alienating my ex's brother because I thought he was this awful degenerate, and I turned out to be wrong. And I am in no way saying that Foxy Boxi's cousin is lying about being raped. I don't know. I really don't know. It's not my place to suggest that Foxy isn't a rapist and that their cousin is lying. I'm just saying the internet especially isn't a place to allege serious crimes like that, because, I mean, what the hell is gonna happen? A bunch of kids are gonna be like, ew, fuck Foxy Boxy. Like, that doesn't serve proper justice. It doesn't fucking fix anything. And treating people like shit over allegations that haven't been proven true yet is really irresponsible, is all I'm trying to get at. It's not that you can't be weary of Foxy, just don't fucking attack them and assume the worst. That's what I did, and I regretted it later. And the internet isn't an appropriate place to allege things. I just want to make it clear that it's not that I don't believe Foxy, it's that we literally don't fucking know who this cousin is, and I wish for, if it is true, I wish for this cousin to heal, genuinely. I genuinely wish that this cousin I hope this cousin is able to heal from these awful experiences that they had to endure. But I can't tell you for sure what happened between them and Foxy. Rape allegations are for the fucking police, not for a bunch of kids in the animation community. And I suggest that all of you try to remember that. If you don't want to support somebody who may or may not have done that, that's your decision and that's entirely up to you. I'm just saying, we don't fucking know. But yet again, more on this whole rape thing later. There's a little bit more information that I want to get into. But we're at first going to move on to this next little bit of the video. Recently, Foxy Boxy has returned to social media, but not on their YouTube channel. They've returned on TikTok, believe it or not. They address a number of things, the allegations, and give updates on where their content is going to be going in the future. Now, that's all I'll talk about at this very moment. Let's just get straight into watching it, shall we?
Hello. My name is Foxy Boxy, and I bet some of you haven't seen me in a long time. Well, I'm gonna try to cram as much as I can into this 3-minute video about how I'm doing now and their situations and how they're being dealt with. So, first off is the commission situation, or the scamming that I supposedly did. Now, to be honest, I left my socials when I did cold turkey because I was being doxxed and harassed, and I was in the fucking hospital when I deleted my YouTube channel, so I was not doing so great. I'm doing a lot better now. I have meds, I'm going to therapy, I have a job. It's getting better, I promise. But if I have not finished a commission for you, you have my permission to DM me and let me know what the statements are and how much it was, and I can try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. It might not be right this second, but I can definitely try.
As you've just heard, Foxy has explained that she is going to take care of the commission incident, which is awesome. People accused her of scamming, which she said with quotations because presumably it was never her intention to not give her customers her product. I can sort of understand where she's coming from. Typically scams are pretty disingenuous, and the scam artist doesn't usually have the intention of being true to their customers, and Foxi was just in between a rock and a hard place, supposedly, and it resulted in her not finishing her commissions, which came off kind of scammy. However, scams are defined as genuinely fraudulent, and I don't know, maybe the word scam was just a word that children defaulted to use because they didn't know the full context, which is understandable. Either way, doesn't really matter. It's great because she is taking care of the problem, and whether she was intentionally scamming people or not, she has attempted to fix the problem, and her customers are I think that they're going to get refunds. So that's awesome. Good on her, genuinely.
The second situation is with the allegations of the grooming. There's actually an active investigation going on, which I can't share the details of, but I will say that the ones that were spreading around Instagram with another user was actually debunked because it was consensual. They were also just as a bad person as I was at that time, and we were both minors.
I'm going to step in here right now with my own little complaint. However, my complaint is not directed at Foxi, my complaint is directed at the community. A lot of people, typically, mainly, actually, me and Goat Cato, because we were researching the topic in a group chat together, that's kind of why our videos came out on the same day. I just realized that. But, when me and Goat were saying that Queen Void was a shitty person and that Queen Void is a huge fucking liar, a lot of the community misconstrued this as us saying, okay, so since Queen Void's a bad person, they can't be groomed, right? For the love of fucking God, nobody is saying that. We're saying that Queen Void has a history of lying, and that when Queen Void went and accused Foxi BOXI of grooming them, Queen Void didn't give us any fucking context. They just showed sexual messages between them and Foxi. Only a few, too. Sexting usually goes on for a little bit, and there were, a few screenshots from the sexting and the sexually charged photos that were being sent. There was, a couple. And since Queen Void has a huge history of lying, and not even just lying about people being pedophiles and groomers, and this is all proven. This has all been debunked. I'm not going to show screenshots because I've already debunked this before. Just go and watch my other videos. We are saying that Queen Void is a huge liar. We know Queen Void's lied about these kinds of things in the past, and Queen Void has out-of-context screenshots with Foxi, so it looked incredibly sketchy. Because we know Queen Void is the type to lie about these kinds of things. They have this huge history of lying about these kinds of things all the fucking time. So just because of the fact that Foxi BOXI was a large name in the community, people definitely clicked on to Queen Void's post accusing Foxi of grooming them, not knowing that Foxi was just another victim of Queen Void, another person that Void was slandering. It just happened to garner attention because Foxi's name is large. We're not saying Foxi can't have groomed Queen Void because Queen Void is a bad person. We are saying Queen Void is a liar and has a pattern of lying about these kinds of things, and Foxi is more likely to be just another victim of Void, is all we were trying to say. So yes, it has been debunked many fucking times. Do not comment things like, well, you can still be groomed if you're a bad person, because we know that, okay? Thank you very much.
So, I turned 18 and people assumed that I was a pedophile, but you gotta remember the ages.
Hi, I personally actually have a theory that Foxi BOXI has mental health has been affected by this so much that they haven't been able to look into this thoroughly, because I've thoroughly researched this, and that's not exactly what happened. What happened is that Queen Void twisted the age gaps, and Queen Void was turning 14, and you, Foxi, were actually 15. A simple, Google of your age and your date of birth that Harley TBS did in his video debunked this and proved that you were actually younger than Queen Void claimed. The reason why everybody thought you were a pedophile I mean, I can understand why you think that, and I can understand not wanting to look into the allegations all that much, but the reason why is because Queen Wood fucking framed you and twisted the age gaps and genuinely made people think that you were older than you actually were and that they were younger than they actually were. I just thought I'd put that out there. I don't blame you for not wanting to look into the situation all that much, honestly. My mental health will be destroyed too if I were in your shoes. I don't blame you for whatever caused you to be in the hospital when all this shit happened. I'm genuinely sorry that the community did this to you.
I already have some videos on my page, but that's because I was private for a little while. I'm taking the risk in going public. If you find this, hello. If you find this and you don't support me, that's completely okay. But I am trying my best to get better, and I hope that you can join me in my journey into fixing everything. Hello, so this is part 2 of another video that I made. If you haven't seen that one, you should go watch that one first. But just some little sprinkled in things that I feel like people are gonna ask. I am probably going to remain on TikTok only for a long while, only because I don't want to be on any other social medias at the moment. I am never, ever returning to the animation meme community, ever. I'm sorry to say. I'm gonna remain with the first shoot content and some art here and there, but no animation memes for me.
I do not blame you at all. I would consider you genuinely a victim to our community's absolute bullshit, and if I were in your shoes, I would probably have trauma after that experience. Someone who I just fucking had a sexual encounter with when I was, a child, then going on to slander me, and then the entire community calling me a pedophile and a zoophile. I'm just putting myself in your shoes. I would be traumatized. I would be very anxious to even go onto TikTok. I would be anxious about losing my platform again, even after regaining it and after people understand what actually happened. I would genuinely be terrified, and I would have to recover. So I would definitely be terrified of the animation meme community. But if I'm gonna be completely honest, it's just social media. I feel TikTok's even worse for that. The amount of bandwagons people jump on TikTok kids are terrifying. Them jumping on the bandwagon of calling Kitty Dog a zoophile just because they didn't like her song Bees in My Head, that was a cesspool that I'm not gonna get into too much, but that's a little bit unrelated. But I just completely understand having, trauma from that whole experience with people literally fucking slandering you. I don't blame you. Do not act like she needs to return to the animation meme community if she doesn't want to. It's completely valid that she does not want anything to do with us after what we did to her.
Especially because my iPad is broken and I have a Samsung tablet now that I can't really animate on. So that kind of sucks, just a little bit. Another thing, if you are somebody who has gotten a commission from me, I will probably just refund you what you have paid me. If you DM me, I can send you my Telegram or my Discord and we can discuss it there so you can send screenshots and whatnot.
Perfect. Genuinely. That's all you were really guilty of in the first place in this situation. You were only really guilty of the really poorly done business operation where people didn't get their commissions, and you're fixing it. You're refunding people. That's awesome. You're honestly fixing the only thing you were genuinely guilty of that you should have apologized for publicly. Good on you, Foxy.
And I am more than willing to help. Once again, just let me know. If there are any other questions that you guys have, feel free to comment, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. That's if anybody even finds this. I don't know if this will gain traction or not. I don't know how TikTok works. But I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you when I see you. Wow! Okay. This is gonna be the last part, hopefully, that I make on my own. But I wanted to explain why exactly I was doing the thing with the commissions. the way that I was doing it. And I'm not allowed to name any names, but the guardian that I was living with at the time was charging me rent as a minor, and I was not able to get transportation to a job very easily. So all of my paychecks pretty much went to her, and I needed some way to make money. So I opened a bunch of commissions and I took the money, but I never actually had time to finish the artworks. I wasn't just blowing them off. It was like that whole living situation was awful. I got way too backed up and got overwhelmed and couldn't do them. But, yeah. Also, since I know some people might bring this up, as you can see, my name shows that I'm going to FWA soon, and I'm not the one who actually paid for that. It is something that my roommate paid for because my birthday is a month before.
I was actually right about you being a Taurus. Holy shit. Damn.
Oh, Foxy, why are you coming back to a different platform? Because, to be honest, I miss y'all. I miss y'all a lot. It's been making me sad. But I figured now that I'm a little bit better off and I've had some time away from social media, that I can try to slowly come back. I don't know if I'll ever return to YouTube ever again. It might be a while before I do, but I was planning on doing like fursuit vlog videos, kind of like Odin Wolf and things like that. But that's a maybe. For now, I stay here.
Hello. I'm here to address a certain situation, but I'm going to be a little bit more specific because even though I mentioned it in my pinned videos, it was vague to the point where I don't think anybody caught on. So, for those of you who keep commenting about the cousin thing, I already know about it. I'm not trying to avoid it. The reason why I'm deleting comments is because it wasn't supposed to be shared to the public in the first place. This is the open investigation that I was mentioning that I'm not allowed to share the details of. And neither was my cousin, technically, but it's already out there. I can't do nothing about it. But it is being handled with. I'm the one who opened the investigation because I want this shit off of my name. So no, I'm not deleting your comments because I'm hiding anything. I'm not blocking you or removing your comments because I just don't want to adjust the situation. I literally cannot talk about this in detail. I'm not allowed to address it fully and go over everything until the investigation is completely over. And I'm gonna keep it that way. So if you wanna keep an eye out for when that happens, good for you. But I'm not allowed to talk about it right now. Okay? Thank you.
If you are in any way a respectable individual, you will not stick your penis up where it doesn't belong when a situation is already being handled professionally, okay? I'm in a car trying to talk quite quietly so I don't disturb my family. I'm on a road trip, and to my friends who I've been talking to the road trip about, hi, I'm doing the road trip right now, whee! But sorry for the change in tone. I'm just trying to talk very close to my mic and stay quiet. But I've got my own little story. I'm gonna be very vague because I don't think it's fair for me to name anyone. But someone who I care for very deeply when they were much younger. And this is something you don't have to take 100% seriously because these are all allegations what I'm about to spew, but I'm also not really naming anyone, so it's not really the same as posting a story accusing someone of rape. I'm going to leave everyone here anonymous. A guy who was like 48 hit on my friend who was like 12 or 13. He groomed them and molested them, and I can believe it because the creep also hit on me when I was like 14. Very real, like in real life situation, that's what I mean, like this was in person. But after me and my friend kind of pieced it all together, I went and I kind of like, it was a while ago, so I wasn't as mature. I'm not trying to say I'm some like big girl now, but like I wasn't as mature at the time. I went at him and called him a pedophile in Instagram DMs, and he instantly blocked me. We know he has a history. One of the adults in our lives said, "Oh yeah, that guy, he has a history with kids," when we mentioned that he was kind of creepy. But the guy instantly blocked me, right? He didn't defend himself. He ran away, and that's usually what these kinds of people do. They run away. They don't open investigations to clear their name. So I'm not trying to say Foxy Boxy is innocent. I'm just trying to say, like, I'm not sussing on Foxy as much, just because I can't say that I know for sure what's going on, but in most cases, from experience, with very real abusers, very real predators, they run away. They don't freaking open investigations to clear their name. So I just thought I'd throw that out there from experience. But I'm not trying to say that Foxy Boxy is or isn't innocent, because I'm not law enforcement. But what I'm just trying to say is, please don't be at Foxy Boxy's throat trying to spectate. I'm not even spectating, I'm just throwing that out there. Let's not spectate on a situation that's being dealt with professionally. Let's just all move on, okay? Is all I'm trying to get at. Because we're a bunch of kids online at the end of the day, and we don't know what the hell. We're not fucking law enforcement, okay? We can't try to get involved just because we're interested in the situation, okay? It's being dealt with professionally, period.
Hello again. So, good lord, it is 7 in the morning. I have just opened my eyes to 99 plus notifications. My heart sank a little bit, to be honest with you. I noticed that one of my other videos... Cat, stop it. Can you not, please? I'm trying to record there. Okay, change of plans. Select a different setup. Alright. But I noticed that the comments on that video were asking more about this situation with the person that was on Instagram. The active investigation I was talking about was actually for a different thing. That one has been completely proven to be false. All the conversations were consensual. We were both minors. I was 16, they were 13. I'm aware that I was the older one, but I was not told right from wrong in that aspect. Obviously, I know now.
Almost 14 and 15. Almost 14 and 15.
And I'm willing to, take a learning curve and all that stuff. But there was no ill intent in any of the conversations that me and that person had. So it was not proven to be anything malicious. Thank you for listening. Another thing that I'm gonna mention, I just remembered, I said this in the pinned videos, but some people don't watch those. Yes, I am going to therapy. I have my medication back. I have a job. I have a place to live. I'm a little bit better off. I promise I'm doing better, I promise. Alright?
Okay, so, fair warning, this is an adult topic. To be honest, if it wasn't against TikTok's terms of service, I would just grab it and be like, yeah, here you go. I did not get a realistic dog toy from Bad Dragon. Now, the one that I have isn't even remotely animal-shaped whatsoever. I know that they do sell ones that are fairly similar to, like, an actual canine. That is not the one that I have. And on another note, I have stopped supporting Bad Dragon for almost a year now, ish. I'm really bad at my times, but pretty much a few months before I deleted my channel, I stopped supporting them. Like, I don't have the shirt anymore, my phone doesn't have the pop socket. So, that's what that situation. I am not as euphoric.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I actually knew that because I have a friend who is 18 who went onto the website for me, and looked at the thing you purchased, and I'm underage, so I haven't necessarily seeked it out, but I have lots of friends who are over 18, because, you know, I'm 16, it's a 2 years age gap, and bro, my parents are wondering what I'm doing. My mom was like, it's fine, she's probably just making a rant or something. Yeah, they're in the front of the car listening. Just saying, yes, I can confirm. My friends confirmed it for me.
It was like, whoa, and then the fucking room started spinning and shit. And my friend came in, he was like, yo, M, you put that shit up your nose again? And I was like, no.
Honestly, my conclusion is that social media is full of children, and I guess we're not toddlers, we're not little 10-year-olds, but teenagers are sort of in between adult and child, so they've got this kind of, like, interest in more mature topics and themes, but they're not at the maturity level to to handle them properly. So when you've got a bunch of kids on social media trying to handle these kinds of situations, you just get a fucking dumpster fire, and it always gets worse and worse. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, most adults in life, and when I say adults, I don't mean 18-year-olds, I mean like fully grown 30-year-old adults. Not all, but most adults have a job and aren't sitting around on social media all the time. So there's the occasional actual fully grown adult on here, but a lot of the people who actually sit around on social media are children, teenagers. So when you go around and allege serious crimes, whether it be grooming or rape, it's inevitably going to be handled by predominantly children who don't know how to handle a serious situation whatsoever. And I'm glad that Foxi supposedly opened an investigation. And whatever the hell happens there, even if Foxy's some weird, deranged rapist liar, I don't know. I'm not picking sides, I'm just completely neutral between Foxy and her cousin. But even if she is some pathological liar who's really far gone, who opened an investigation because she thought it would prove a point and she really is a rapist, I don't goddamn fucking know. I'm not a part of the situation. Whatever it is, legal action is now being taken. There's legal action now, and isn't that all we should want? It's being handled professionally, not by children. Isn't that great? I think that's awesome. Am I surprised that this happened? No, not at all. Not at all. Yet again, it's inevitable when children are the ones alleging shit on social media. Because we're children. We're teenagers. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry this part took so long to get out, but it's because I actually wanted to wait for information to come out.
You know, and not mindlessly pump content out of my ass for the sake of it.
I also just wanted to say that I apologize for the fact that I'm not making as many animated music videos as I used to. It's kind of ironic because I posted a announcement on my channel saying that I'd be predominantly sticking to commentary just because they're easier to make, and it makes it so my channel doesn't die. And it took me a while for me to follow through with that because of, life. But the reason being for that announcement was because I'm still working on that movie that I've been ranting about endlessly. And if I'm honest, it's taken forever, but I think I'll be able to get it done soon. It'll be out by June 1st. And yeah, my content will probably be mainly commentary for a while. I've got a collab coming up with someone. The good old commentary collab. That'll be cool. So, thank you to the people who are subscribed to my channel who also enjoy my animations. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to make as many. All of my animation motivation has been kind of going into the movie, and it's taking a while, but thank you for being patient. I love you all so much. You guys really are awesome and supportive, so I'll see you in the next video. Travel! There's a hand! The hand monster!
This'll all just be a dream. Now hush, little baby, don't you cry. Everything's gonna be alright. Stiffen that up, pull it up, little lady. I told ya, daddy's here to hold ya through the night. I know mommy's not here right now, and we don't know why. We feel how we feel inside. It may seem a little crazy, pretty baby, but I promise mama's gonna be alright. It's funny.